So I don't know why, but I woke up thinking about working. So I worked construction for about 12 years overall. I started back in high school and working as just a laborer, and then worked my way up to an electrician. But anyway, for working for the same company for 12 years, and my mom worked there um, for the first 6 years or so that I did. She was the office manager, and I just worked as a laborer for the guys that needed help, whatever, until I gained the experience with electrical. Uh, but to expand on that was just reflecting on the way that I was treated at the job, um, and the way I observed my mom being treated at the job. So my mom was office manager. Um, Took care of all the payroll, all the freaking calls, all the scheduling for the boss, and all that. Um, and there were times I would go into the office, and at the end of the workday, and and I would have encountered my mom in tears, or recovering from being in tears, or whatever. And it was all, or I caught him in the moment with my boss, just the way he was speaking to her. Um, it was just a very, very unhealthy environment. To see my mom be driven to tears by the way my boss would speak to her. And then, not even that, just the way he spoke to people in general was very crass, I guess. And yeah, it really sucked to not be able to say anything either because he was the owner of the company. And yet there was this discrimination crap going on, and just the way he was able to get away with talking so demeaningly to drive my mom to tears. And then it made me feel bad as well, and my mom and I could never really talk about that. Um, but to expand further upon that, the way in the future, then that's just a background on my boss. In the future, different project manager working, and I'm just there. My mom's passed, whatever. It's just me working with the company. So there were times when I was thinking about mainly this one job and the way by electrical code, the way it should have been done, and then I had the project manager trying to tell me to do it a different way, and the boss and project manager used to tell me little go arounds on certain things on jobs and shit. That was pretty standard. I think it's standard across the board. Nothing to do like illegal. It was just more little. With California electrical codes, they got a little extreme on the whole overdoing the safety requirements, and they were actually there's more problems with it and not why not. But anyway, I was told not to do certain things, and then by the project manager, even though the plans were saying a different thing. And so I went along with it, and just just was like, okay, and that's fine. Thankfully, I still wired it the correct way, and it's a good thing I did, because turns out the inspector did call us on it, and project manager came down on me, and then the boss tried to come down on me, saying that I should have known better and shouldn't have done it, and yada yada, and all this crap. So it was my fault. Now, thankfully, because I prepare, I wired it properly to where there wouldn't be a flag for it, and I could fix it after things were done. So I was able to rectify the situation because I already foresaw that this was going to be an issue. But it was just kind of amazing the way it was all deflected upon to me when I was doing things the right way. I was trying to do things the right way the whole time, yet it was my fault rather than the chain of command, the way there was deflection within this company on who did what and yada yada, and all the ways that I was told to do certain things, but then I did it my own way because I knew that it was better than the way I was being told. Like, I am so glad that I used my own intuition to freaking fix things, because the people I worked with, it's like I could save my boss so much money with all the little tricks that I had over the years, and the way I ran things, and the way I figured things out, and the way I helped things out, that it didn't matter all those things that I did over the years to help and whatnot, and make help save money and do things easier and faster and get them done than what he had anticipated, or minimize the damage to the drywall or whatever. And yet I make a little you know, little mistakes here and there. And I'm not just talking about that one little thing because it wasn't a mistake because I prepped for it being called out and I was wired correctly anyway because I'm smart like that. It's other things. It was other things that I just saved money on jobs and whatnot. And if I made a mistake or whatnot on other things, it was the end of the world. Like all of my achievements or my successes in being able to do things so well over the years were negated. And I just don't get that. I just don't get the negation, the. It wasn't just the construction is just the example I'm speaking about now. It happened in other areas. It doesn't matter. It never really mattered how much I could do, and it's still kind of true today to some people. That I interact with, that I'm held to such a certain standard, and then if I don't meet it or whatever, then it's or I fuck up, then it's the end of the world. You know, like I grew up with everybody around me, not just the work situation, to where like I wasn't allowed to make some mistakes. My successes were not celebrated like at all. I mean, they were, but they weren't. It was just like, okay, cool. But then I'm not even talking about getting celebrated for the successes. It was the fact that I had so many wins, I guess you could say, that it didn't really matter how many I had previously. I make one little mistake, and it's the end of the freaking world, man. Um, like that's how I grew up. No matter what, I was not allowed to make mistakes. I had to be the perfect one. I had to be the perfect one. And that's just, I don't know. I think there's more on another video.